Guys, good afternoon. How are you all? So, welcome to AKS and welcome to this orientation session, come strategy session of anthropology. Optional. I'm going to take anthropology classes for you. For people who have already decided, this session will be opening more insights, and people who are yet to, take a decision, this session will help, I guess. Okay. This session will be approximately for about 1.5 hours. I need your full cooperation naturally will as we go on, and a lot of other things also will be discussed alongside the subject. Am I audible in the last line? Is it echoing a bit? Okay. And are you feeling comfortable? First, settle relaxedly. And it's a post-lunch session. I would definitely assure you, it would not put into that sleepy mode. I hope. Chaliye, we will go ahead. And of course, my name is Vijay Sarathi. I must introduce you to you. Some of you might be knowing me. Many of you may not. No problem. You'll get to know about me in a while. I'm having almost like 27 years of experience in UPSC teaching, and this is my 27th year. In February only I've entered. And in anthropology, more than a decade I have experience of teaching. And I've also worked in many institutes in the editorial department. I work for magazines. I'm also a personality speaker, personality development speaker to some institutes. I'm a personal coach and mentor for students. And I'm a loyal husband to a single wife and 2 kids. 1 wife, 2 kids. Why I'm saying 1 wife, 2 kids, you'll understand in a while. And what is so special about anthropology? What is anthropology, by the way? The more question that will dominate today's session. And also we'll be seeing what exactly you will be seeing. I mean, you'll be experiencing after selecting anthropology as your optional. What kind of journey that will be? Okay, that is the second part. Third is anthropology an interesting subject? There is an answer in the question itself. I'll answer it, of course, in a very detailed manner in a while. And last, I will leave the field open for your queries and basic questions. We'll straight away jump into the first question. What is anthropology? And most of my students know me, and I'll again reiterate at this juncture that my classes will be interactive from day one. Even in the orientation session, I take the liberty for you to kindly open up. It's simply a two-way interaction that happens in this class. For whatever number of classes we take, all the classes will be two-way. There will be no one-way traffic session. There is no imposition of information overload on you. Definitely there will be light at the end of the tunnel. Then what is anthropology according to you? I'll be telling a lot about that. Today we will only have a common man's understanding. In the actual classes, we'll be coming into the definition from the expert's viewpoint. Experts' definitions. Aapko kya malum hai? I'll be using Hindi also a bit and some Telugu. How many people here do not know Hindi or English? Sorry, Telugu. How many people do not know Telugu? Absolutely zero knowledge of Telugu. Chalega. And definitely everybody knows Hindi, I guess. Any person who doesn't know Hindi? And I'm not going to teach subject in these languages. I'll be coming to the colloquial discussion. And between two big topics, I'll be just smoothening that gap with the general vernacular stuff. Sometimes in Telugu, sometimes in Hindi. Just for 1 or 2 moments. Then we'll go back to the subject in English. The lingua franca of the world. What is anthropology, by the way? Study of human beings, study of humans. Can we say study of mankind? Can we say study of humankind, womankind? Absolutely. What is the study of anthropology doing here? When we say anthropology is the study of humans, Are we, I mean, is this the only discipline that is studying humans? We have several subjects, right? You have in your optionals in your UPSC. What are the other subjects? Engineering subjects, medicine, agriculture, botany, zoology, sociology, and popular optionals like public administration, economics. Don't they study humans? What is the difference between this study and that study? Anthropology also studies humans. Economics also studies humans. Political science also studies humans. Geography studies humans. Every facet of human life is covered by one subject or the other. Then what is so special about anthropology? That is, many questions we'll be raising and answering. So anthropology, as claimed by the scholars, is the true discipline of humans. It's actually a true discipline of humans. 1 second. थोड़ा gap आया था मेरे को, 1 second. I'll have to select the color. Yeah. This is a true discipline of humans. Why we are saying this? Because only anthropology covers humans from all the dimensions. I will ask you a question, right? If you want to solve a problem, okay, let us divide this class into 2 groups. One group, that problem you have to solve within about 1 week. This group is given 1 month. This group, how many angles it can cover? Maybe 1 or 2 dimensions. This group may be covering more dimensions. From which group I can expect a long-lasting solution or a long-term solution, permanent solution? This group or this group? This group also will be giving solutions, no doubt. But the dimensions this group has got are number of, the time is also given less. So we cannot expect any magic that can happen within 1 week. So for a good time, this group will be in a better position to go through the subject. Why? It has covered that problem or issue from many dimensions. Anthropology has developed that kind of a habit right from day one to cover human life in all the angles. No single discipline on earth, I'm repeating, no single discipline on earth can claim to cover the human life from all the angles. Whether you talk about economics, sociology, public administration, political science, engineering subjects, they all cover the subject only from 1 or 2 dimensions only. Okay? So, what are these dimensions? Naturally, you'll get that curiosity. I'll ask you again some questions. You just need to say yes or no. Okay, simple. As very, very simple thing. Does anthropology cover the biological aspects of humans? Number 1. Does anthropology cover the social aspects of humans? Does anthropology cover cultural aspects of humans? What about the economic systems of humans? Does it cover? You may know, may not know. I'll just give you one example, you'll understand. You know about Chenchu people in Sri Salem forests? You must have heard. So what are these people? Are they tribal people or advanced society people? Tribal people. What kind of activity they do, you know? Do they follow agriculture? Even today, they live on hunting and gathering. So anthropology is interested in their economic systems, how people produce food, how people get, what kind of technology they use to get food. Getting food is the biggest problem in our life, right? Whenever you go out of college, the first question your people will ask, next entry, what's next? Why they ask that question? Which job you are landing? When you say, I am preparing for IAS, they say, oh. But some uncle says, it takes time, no? It's not so certain, no? That means the society is putting pressure on your, ultimately it boils down to here, papi pet ka sawal hai. So economic systems. Anthropology also studies humans' political systems. You see, I'm drawing all the dimensions: social, cultural, biological. Already we have noted this starting May. Now I'm talking about economic systems. Don't we discuss about the political systems of these people? Yes, if you see the syllabus of anthropology, you'll know. Usually, I have the habit of asking students to carry one copy, but that I have postponed it to the next class, the first class, rather than in the orientation session. Because the moment you sit in the class with that, right, with that syllabus, you may not have that balance of focus. Thoda aapko trouble hoega. Okay, so because of that, I'm saying I'll be referring to those areas. There is a chapter called chapter 4 in paper 1. We'll be talking about political systems. Definitely, anthropology is extraordinarily interested in people's religion. And the best thing about humans is language. How we learn everything. Right from the childhood, how we learn everything. How do we become humans? What is the difference between animals and humans? Some of you might have seen animal movie. Huh? Okay. And in many of my classes, movies will be cited as examples. क्यों आप भी बताता हूँ आपको, ठीक है? एक second, I have to just add this page. यार. Okay. I am putting here human life, right? This is human. This is cinema, movies. What is the relationship between human life and cinemas? Do you see them as a reflection of each other? Right? Our movies reflect our lives, correct? Yes or no? I make anthropology stand in the middle of both. The human life is expressed in anthropology. Human life is expressed in movies, and there is an extraordinary relationship between cinemas and anthropology. Cinemas and anthropology. Animal movie make dialogue bolta hero. I'll not go into the detail because you may not be appreciating that right now. This hero talks to the heroine and says, "You have a better chance of having better babies." You remember the dialogue, right? And he talks about the body parts. At the moment, it looks misogynistic to you. Why we are unnecessarily going into women's issues? But in anthropology, we are the most shameless persons on earth, speaking about the body of the humans, including males, females, and sex. Sex is a very ordinary topic in our classes without any vulgarity. Not even an iota of vulgarity will be there. Absolute scientific, 100% scientific thing we'll be discussing. In that, he says, now Gurtachinda dialogue, you remember that? Your pelvis is wider. That fellow has not studied anthropology properly. Maybe he has listened to one of my lectures. He has just picked up only the pelvis part. Why human pelvis is wider? In fact, we are talking about human pelvis. Women pelvis are wider than men's pelvis. Everybody knows. Correct? This is a part. This part. Why it is wider? Because there is a great deal of difficulty of the human child to take birth, negotiating the very tight, very narrow birth canal of the females. And it is a great success story in the humans. We have evolved from millions of years. We are not today's cultural animal. We are basically animals. We are cultural animals. We are social animals. But to become cultural and social, it has taken millions of years times, my dear friends. From those millions of years, we started becoming human, pre-human, human, and early human. There were many forms that were found from the earth, from Africa, Asia, Europe, who were our ancestors. I'll just ask you another question. Do you think our ancestors resembled us, or they were slightly primitive? About 1 lakh years back, 50,000 years back, 5 lakh years back. Do you think they were all similar, or they were also having human features but some primitive features? Primitive features also they had. So we have evolved according to science, And is anthropology a science? What is anthropology? Is anthropology a science? Yes, it's a science. And what is anthropology again? Which science it is? It's a social science. It's a cultural science. We do talk about this not in a nonsensical manner. We'll make it 100% sense. Just now, as I mentioned about the sex, it is 100% science in our class. Nothing derogatory to any person, any situation, any people. It's absolutely 100% science. And science believes and proved that humans have evolved. And our biological dimension studies this extraordinary journey. That is the reason I have titled this anthropology as what? What is this? I have given this meaning. The story of mankind. Okay. By the way, I was talking about the movies, right? Why we remember movies a great deal rather than our textbooks? It's like right from our childhood we were noticing. It is very difficult to read textbooks. Rather than we enjoy that audio visual communication, YouTube videos, movies. Why we remember that? Because the movie is given in a narrative. It's a story. Right? And you will be shocked and surprised to know that in all the disciplines that we are going to deal, except history to some extent, entire anthropology is that story. And you have an extraordinary chance of remembering each and every chapter to your deeper level, provided this kind of narrative is given. And the style of teaching and narrative also make a lot of difference. The narrative that I have developed will be taking you to that level of getting everything like crystal clear in front of your eyes. Right from that 40 lakh years ago, where our earliest humans have started in Africa, till now, till we have reached that stage called, someone called us as Homo Deus. Have you heard this name anytime? Acha, you must have heard something after Homo. You know something after Homo. What is that, fellow? Homo sapiens. The wise man. What is the meaning of Homo sapiens? The wise man. But if you ask, there is a Israeli writer, historian, modern historian called Yuval Noah Harari. That fellow has written a book called Homo Deus. Homo Deus. That means Homo is a god. He has elevated humans to the level of God. Oh my God. Nizanga, is it really true? If you read that novel, you will start believing that we are all gods. We have traveled in this difficult journey over millions of years, and addressing every challenge, overcoming every challenge, we have reached this level. Today we are Homo hierarchicus also. There is another usage. A Frenchman called Louis Dumont, we will be discussing this in the paper 2, caste system in India. He has named, after coming to India, after seeing the caste system, this man, Louis Dumont, a French anthropologist, called humans as Homo hierarchicus. Can you relate here? Homo, Homo means human. Hierarchicus में आपको मालूम एक word है, hierarchy. What do you mean by hierarchy? People living in some levels. So he has seen these levels in the caste system, lower caste, untouchable caste, higher caste. Then he has started, this human being is not uniform everywhere. In Europe, I have not seen this. But in India, human is like Homo hierarchicus. Today we have reached the level of Homo hierarchicus. And there is an extraordinary topic called caste system in India in our paper 2. We'll be talking about our villages, our agriculture, women, joint families, family system, marriage patterns from Indian society as well as tribal societies. We'll be very much excited to know that, just now I mentioned 1 wife, 2 kids. Why people laughed? Actually, it's not a laughable thing, correct? But we laugh. Why? Because we are seeing the other side of the coin. What is the other side of the coin? People may marry many spouses, more than one, a man marrying more than one woman. Or have you seen any scenario where a woman marrying many men? All that you will see in anthropology. In your general understanding, in your graduation, you might not have come across this. When a man marries many women, more than one woman, that is called polygamy, and to be precise, polygyny. Polygyny bhi bolte hain kuch log. And a woman marries man, many more than one man, what it's called as polyandry. Polyandry, polygyny. And why I am speaking about all that? Because these are not found in the general mainstream societies. Polygyny you may find with very great difficulty, that too mostly illegal. Legal to hai nahi, according to many acts. Some religions may allow it, but usually by and large we don't have polygyny, neither polyandry in the mainstream society. What is a mainstream society? The mainstream Indian society, which is a caste-based society, which is a religion-based society, which is not the tribal society. The tribal societies are considered as not mainstream societies. They are not from mainstream societies. They are different. Why they are different? Because of these practices like polyandry, polygyny, and many more. I'll be showcasing one example to you now. I'll come to this question many times. What is this photograph about? This is a very lush green area, no? This is a pastoral area in the Nilgiris in South India. Nilgiris, South India, in Tamil Nadu and Kerala, where people, men they are congregating, coming together for a marriage. So what is so special about this marriage? The marriage is so special because the bridegroom has to collect from the nearest forest some material, make a bow and arrow, and present it to his wife. That wife may be already pregnant. Don't laugh, because it's very common in that. Okay. See, this lady is getting that bow and arrow from that man. What is so significant? So this is one of the customs, sir. What is so novel in it? In this, sometimes during the British time, polyandry existed. The same bow and arrow ceremony was performed by a man. You will be all surprised. Huh? You don't feel bad. Huh? This is in the very first day I'm telling you. Already I've given the disclaimer. Because of polyandry, can we clearly pinpoint the biological father? Do they have any DNA testing? Do they have any blood sampling? Do? They don't have anything to prove the fatherhood. They have the social fatherhood. So the man who comes forward and makes that bow and arrow and gives it to the woman and subsequently marries her or not marry her is the example of this polyandry. Like this in tribal India and many simple societies or tribal societies, we've got extraordinary kinds of variety and diversity that makes this optional an extraordinary interesting thing. It is not that since it is diversity we are having interest, because of this different practices we get interest. No, that is not my point. The point here is you develop interest because of the diversity. Whenever we see in the sky on a rainy day, after the rain has stopped, you see that 7-colored rainbow, right? How many of us become children on that day? Every one of us in whatever age, maybe you will become a child, right? Why? Because of that beautiful original nature's painting. What is so special about the rainbow? It is a natural occurrence. But can you create rainbow in a lab? You have heard about that in your 9th class, 10th class experiments where light is passed through prism and it produces colors. Which light is passed? White light is passed. So the world looks like only ordinarily. With the help of anthropology as a prism, you can see these 7 colors of life. That is my guarantee. One of the 100% guarantees I give in the classes with anthropological lens. If you wear this lens, you see all the diversity in the world brilliantly, crystal clearly. You will appreciate that. You will acknowledge diversity, and you also start appreciating the other person. All along, we were told to only fend for ourselves, tend to ourselves. Nee kosam jisko ujjagam, you get one job, you settle down. That is the major target in our life, right, guys? And while undergoing this subject, you're traveling in about 10 days, 20 days time, you slowly, that kind of, things open up for you. You start observing the society. Even on the road, you start observing. You will do it automatically, not that I have told, right? Not because I have told you. You will be doing that automatically because already that anthropological lens started sitting in your eyes. You just need to open up that new vistas, be slightly broad-minded to welcome new ideas. You will start appreciating your father better, your mother better, your sister, your brother, your friend, your uncle, your teacher. Every person will look, you start appreciating the other. You start stepping into the other person's shoes and start seeing that. Why? Because anthropology already started doing that 360-degree thing. I told you how problems have come, better solutions have come when you have given more time and study the situation from a multi-dimensional vision or viewpoint. And what is so special about anthropology? Every time I am saying anthropology, ये सब क्या है इसमें? First, let us forget about it as an optional subject in UPSC. It has started as a contact point when two kind of people came to contact with each other, Western people and non-Western people. When the sea routes were discovered for the first time in the world, white fellows, Western fellows from Europe started going to America, Australia, Africa, Asia. They started seeing the people who never they thought that these people are animals. These people are pitch dark in color, stark naked. They don't have anything, not even a iota of, in Telugu we call nulupogu lekunda, not even a small thread top to down, but they are wearing all these feathers here. Niche kuch bhi nahi hai. These fellows are stark naked, their language is bizarre, their customs are bizarre. Then they started studying them. What is their culture? What is their food? What is their language? What is their society? What is their family type? What is their marriage system? Just now we have spoken about why polyandry is there. What is the reason for polyandry? What is the reason for polygyny? Are you getting this? So much beautiful things started developing that it became a discipline itself. This curiosity of these white fellows on the non-white people in the world developed into a full-blown discipline, and it started becoming a discipline taught in the universities. Then it became a full-fledged subject. This is not the complete story. The other part of the story is anthropology. Acha, when you want to study that society, how much time you need? You need to know their language first, correct? At least 6 months ho jayega. You need to study their marriage systems, family, their family type, how many children, how many wives, how many husbands, then their economic practices, their political system, their religion, their folklore, their dances, their food, their festivals, their technology, their intelligence. These people are not so dumb people as we are thinking. They are not so primitive people. Earlier they were called as primitive people. Now they are not. They are, in some cases, they are better than us. How much time is needed? Minimum 1 year is required. People used to spend for at least 1 year to 3 years, or sometimes 4 years, studying a society. Then tell me, who are the best people to understand humans? Anthropologists or other people? You may not believe, you may not even speak, no problem, because you have not yet decided. I'm just asking you to echo. Maybe once you join the classes, and definitely you'll echo with me. At least after coming in the journey, going forward in the journey for 20, 30 days, definitely you'll start echoing with a complete resonance, because I have experienced that. It's not about that. I started understanding my people better. I started understanding my students better. Absolutely, that is so ridiculous earlier. Why a two-way dialogue develops? Why should ask you? Why should I involve you in the discussion? I can just go on ranting, no? I can complete the class, dictate you, and just say bye. But my students chase me. I chase them. I nurture them, I mentor them, I support them. Why? Because anthropology has taught me that life is not only one color, it has got 7 colors, and you'll enjoy these 7 colors in all the walks of life. When you relate to people, great openings will come up. It will also help you in your UPSC personality. I'll tell you that later. Okay? There are so many beautiful things. This is one odd diagram about them. Why this buffalo what is this buffalo doing here? What is that hut doing here? Buffalo should be kept in that hut. No, it is their sacred place. Who are these people? Again the same Toda people in the Nilgiris. Toda ane bilole, Toda anakandi. It is Toda, Toda, Toda. These Toda people live on buffalo pastoralism. What is buffalo pastoralism? These people are milk herders. Then they sell the milk, ghee, then all to the neighboring tribal people. They get other supplies from other neighboring people like the Kota, the Badaga, the Kuruba, who all live in that Nilgiri hills. So these people are enjoying the beauty of nature with the help of their buffaloes, which are very much sacred to them. They do not allow their women to touch the buffaloes. How? Why women have come in our discussion? Tell me, just can you guess? Why women are not allowed to touch the buffaloes? Are women allowed everywhere in this planet? I have opened the question for you. You can answer inside you only. You need not even answer out. Women are not allowed everywhere. In their homes, in some places, in places which are thought as sacred. Why? Because women undergo in their lifetime many cycles in which they, for the temporary period, they are treated as impure. But for the purpose of sacredness, entire women folk is regarded as not welcome here. This is a bitter truth we have to take. And in my classes I keep on telling once or the other, we take the bitter pill regularly. Which are these people? Anthropology students. And when you eat the bitter thing only, you become better. How many people saw Sridevi's daughter? अरे उसका नाम जल्दी याद नहीं आता यार मेरे को. Janvi Kapoor. Janvi's movie, what is that यार? Gunjan Saxena. Any one person, no problem. Gunjan Saxena, she is made to have drink in the early morning Karela juice with her father, right? Her father also gives company. Why she is taking Karela juice? She has to lose weight. She is overweight for getting selected as a Navy pilot or Army pilot. Paragliding usme. Why? What is so beautiful about this Karela juice? And it kicks in all the good things in the metabolism. In fact, the thing you are treating as bitter is actually better for us. Our forefathers have already told us, don't shy away from that. Eat that bitter pill. When the people who are in touch with the truth will be knowing that. Why? Because truth is always bitter. And anthropology opens up human society, human culture, human body. It tries to see the reality as reality. Nothing added, nothing removed. So I can go on like this, but our job is not that. This is an orientation session, and I'm not going to talk about much on the subject. And you all know, some of you know these points. Why anthropology is a popular subject, why anthropology is right optional for you. You can just go on through these points. The nature of questions are direct. More than 90% questions are direct. Just one or two words are twisted. How much? More than 90%, sometimes 90% questions are direct or direct. Even if the question examiner wants to twist the questions, about 5-10% har jagah hota hai. It's very much common, and we'll train you how to deal with that. It's very, very easy. Nothing great kind of a thing. If you know the subject, if you know the story, if you know the concept, and if you know the concept facts, which is the best thing? How to better remember things? If you remember the story or the concept or the facts. Since anthropology itself is a story of humankind, told in that story like narrative, you can, bang with confidence that I'll get the clarity. And next comes the concept. If you are strong in the concept, you can attempt any question, whether it is straight question or a twisted question. Anyhow, training will be provided to you. Limited and diverse syllabus. It looks like limited, but there is a lot of connection. Just now I have told you, lot of organic linkages are there. I have given you the example of animal, right? That birth of that baby. Why the birth of the baby is difficult? Because the human brain is very big. Our brain size, kindly exercise some soberness, jag jaw. What is the human brain capacity? Approximately 1350 to 1450 cc. In odd cases, 1500 also. Our average is about 1400 cc. But when a human baby is born, it's about 400 to 500 cc. Human baby's brain size is about 500 cc. And you'll be shocked and surprised that who is our closest cousin in the animal kingdom? Any guesses? Closest cousin in the animal kingdom? Apes. Within that, chimpanzees. Brilliant. Chimpanzees. And you will be, very glad to know that chimpanzee brain size is also 500 cc. And do we call chimpanzee as a cultural being, or an animal? It's an animal. And according to Manu Dharma Shastra, Manu Smriti, we'll be touching that small in a one line in caste system. Manu says every human is born as a Shudra. But after he is getting, after he becomes something, takes up one occupation, that fellow becomes either a Brahmana, Kshatriya or Vaishya. Everybody is born as a very ordinary level. So 500 cc से लेके 1350 तक कैसा हो रहा है यार? What is happening here? From an animal to social animal, from an animal, pure animal, to cultural animal. This is a transformation. From 500 cc to 1400 cc, brain size is expanding. So now you see how the subject is connected. There also that was animal like, and the same Manu says you have to treat the children below 8 years as animals. These fellows are as good as animals. Unless they are sent to the teacher for that Gurukula education, that fellow will not become a human. He is considered as good as an animal. Right? So, have you seen that now transformation? Biology, culture linked, biological system, caste system. Slightly, there are linkages. There are like dozens of linkages like that. And in many more ways, we'll be appreciating this brain size expansion. In the evolution, brain size expansion was a decisive factor. You'll be seeing that as well. And third point is questions are repeated. Most of the, at least about 30 to 40% questions are repeated. They're just repeat every 1 or 2 years. And it is highly scoring, you all know. One of the, candidate has secured 362 out of 500. It is possible. Some people get 350. Next bracket is between 300 and 350. And most of the people end up between 275 and 300. And the people who get less than 250 or 225, their name will not be in the list. So your optional can be a decider. It can make or break your chances. Okay, that is a point I want to drive home. And it is consistently producing the toppers in top 10 since many decades. Not just it's a recent phenomena. Since many decades it is happening. It enables us to understand society and culture better and current affairs better. I'll be giving one example about cookies and mighties. It is useful in GS. I have some evidences. With evidence I am going to speak. Anyone with any academic background can choose anthropology, because I'll give you one example for that. One statistic. How many universities in India you think provide anthropology in graduation, undergraduate program? Not even 5%, I think, correct? Not even 5%. So you don't have any competition from people who have already studied anthropology. कोई competition नहीं है, सबको almost same. And the most moot question most people ask is, sir, I don't have biology background. How to deal with this? And biology is only a small part in our life. Okay, and you'll be surprised, most of the toppers, these days they are coming from engineering backgrounds as well. So just you need to read it like a fresh novel. It's a fresh break from you. You have not seen anthropology in your school, colleges, right? So just I recommend strongly that you please treat it as a novel. You just enjoy the story. Rest of the things fall in place. All the things, questions, answers, oh, baad mein automatic aa jayega. You need to just put yourself 100% in that story. Okay? And it enables the development of a holistic personality. Just now we have noted, when you study people 360 degrees, when you give time for others, do you think others also will give you time? If you are, why, I'll just ask you one thing, very, very current thing. How many people, almost all of you know that the rates of divorces in this country are, divorces, are they increasing or decreasing in this country? So regularly since the last decade or so, or 2-3 decades or so, the word was, divorce was taken as a bombshell earlier, 30 years back. If you ask your mothers, grandmothers, divorce bole to aapka gala pakad lete. And divorce is a very common word today. Why divorces are happening among couples? We have, by the way, topic called family in chapter 2, paper 1, my dear friends. I am not talking about anything extra here. Chapter 2, family, marriage, kinship, relationship. अगर मियाँ बीवी के बीच में relation नहीं है तो क्या करेगा next generation? There is no next generation possible. Divorce rates are increasing because of lack of communication between the spouses. You don't have time. And if you offer your ear to people will make a beeline. Today I can actually set up a shop and call it as problem listening center. I'm not exaggerating. No. What do your doctors and psychologists do? Tell me. Have you seen Family Man 2? Family Man 2. बोलता है उसका फुल गाली दे के आ जाता है. These fellows go to that psychological counselor. He says, अरे इनको 5,000 और बढ़ा दो fees. Because this Srikanth has given gali and has come back, hero. What that psychology fellows does, psychologist, he listens. That's it. Half of your problem is solved by listening. Correct? Doctors also, if you completely tell your problem, then you will feel halka, right? If you go to a church or a temple, what do? You pray to the God. Half of your problems you are actually transferring to the God. God is always standing there. He says, come on, or bolo, I am ready to take. Then you feel light or not? After coming from the temple, mosque, church, will you feel light or not? Why? The God may not have answered, but he has listened to you. There is someone to listen. When you do that, when you give time for others, what the other person does he reciprocate? This entire life is built on this principle, give and take. There is nothing called a free lunch. Today I give some time to you, tomorrow you give time to me, and we are in a better deal. I give money to you, you give me money to me, then perfect, it's even. Right? So this is how the world is built, balance. And of course notes will always be given, no doubt about it, no problem anyhow. And we have got the syllabus divided into broad areas, 6 broad areas roughly, which are actually divided into 2 papers. This first part is paper 1, paper 2, paper 1 only, sorry, paper 1 again. This is divided between paper 1 and paper 2. Archaeology. Then this is paper 2 only. Indian society and culture. Tribal India, paper 2. So 6 parts I have divided, but actually the syllabus is there in paper 1 and paper 2, just like any other subject. Paper 1 is a general anthropology about this evolution, human society, human culture, human languages, all that, some physical stuff. And what about paper 2? Some archaeology. What is archaeology? What is archaeology? It is the study of past cultures. The cultures which are actually, this building may be having one culture. I'm not exaggerating. That Indira Park, if you excavate, you'll definitely get some utensils, some kind of skeletons. I'm not at all joking here. Because people have lived here earlier, because this is a low-lying area. Water will come definitely thousands of years back, lakhs of years back. People might have lived here. If you dig it out, we will know our ancestors, how our ancestors have lived. That is our question. You're not trying to prove that we are, genius people. So Tribal India also offers one beautiful insight to our preparation. So 6 areas in 2 papers is a distribution of the syllabus. You want to write them down, you can write them down. Part 1, Introduction and Social Cultural Anthropology. Part 2, that is in our division, in my division, my scheme of division. Part 2, that is Physical or Biological Anthropology. Part 3, Anthropological Theories. And part 4, Prehistoric Archaeology, or your archaeology, simply archaeology. And part 5, Indian society and culture. I mentioned just now about caste system and all. So when you see the caste system in India, you start appreciating why there are reservations and all. And part 6, that is Tribal India. I'll go here. That last thing is Tribal India. Okay? And today, if you have seen papers or not, Rahul Gandhi was saying that when we come to power, when UPA comes to power, we will increase the reservation limit beyond 50%. Has it got any link with the caste system? In our classes, we will know reservations like the back of our hand. Reservations का thing ऐसा चुटकियों में आ जाएगा हमको. Why reservations? What are the reservations? What percentage of reservations? And what are these reservations doing? What is this caste system? What is the connection between caste system and reservations? How caste system originated in the first place? This Manu and all, many people told. Even Rig Veda said something. All that we know. And we start applying that knowledge in the current society. No knowledge is complete unless you apply it to the field, right? It's all a national waste. When you are only preparing for UPSC optional, please don't do that. Please don't take anthropology. If you want to only clear this exam, absolutely no. My scheme of things is different. You may not buy my argument, you may not appreciate this. Read anthropology for yourself. Because you are actually reading about yourself. What is the study of man? Study of man matlab kya hai? We are studying about ourselves. We are studying about ourselves. You know, this word anthropology, who is that person who studies anthropology? Now tell me of that word. A person studying anthropology can be called as anthropologist. First time, the Greek scholar Aristotle said anthropologist is the person who is a gossip, who speaks about himself or who talks about himself. Who is this man? Who is this anthropologist? According to Aristotle, a man or a gossip who talks about himself. Gossip ante that person. Not gossip means that verb. It's a noun. Who is anthropologist? The person who is speaking about himself. Himself means, in anthropology, what we are doing? We are studying ourselves, my dear friends. Ourselves, our language, our culture, our society, our marriage systems. Just now I have spoken about family, our family, nuclear family, joint family. Nowadays, even the gay marriages, same-sex marriages, live-in relationships, are they out of syllabus? Do you think live-in relationship is out of syllabus? Absolutely no. It is also part of the syllabus. We are trying to know our roots, from where we have come. Just now I mentioned about that 40 lakh years ago, human form. We are trying to understand our origins. Where we have originated, I said one continent name. Africa. According to all the anthropologists, paleoanthropologists, our forefathers, rather our earliest ancestors were from Africa, who are more ape-like and showed only less human-like features. Today we are completely human. There is no ape-like feature in us. So that transformation has taken 40 lakh years, my friends. So this is the syllabus distribution, and I was talking about these marks just for your general understanding. Why this distribution is there, why that bottom line is there, that dividing line. People who get less than 250 have got almost very zero chances of getting selected. And if you don't give your 100% and you cannot connect with the subjects, you will not be able to go beyond 250. बहुत लोग लेते हैं subject, they cannot establish the connection. For that matter, many subjects are there in UPSC. I don't know how many students fall in love with the subjects. There is a tagline, fall in love with your subject. In many of my classes, it is the students who have said, I'm not saying, I'll be removing this word from the records. Okay, just for your observation I'm saying. Okay? You will fall again and again in love with the anthropology, because it is, you are studying about whom? You are studying about yourself. I am studying about myself, where I have come from, what it means to be a man, what it means to be a woman. After studying this, I can promise you 100% that men folk will understand the women folk better. That is a promise. That is a guarantee. You start appreciating the women's problems. Women will start appreciating men's problem. Nowadays, what is the game played? Tu me, blame game. No correct undu. You become first correct. I am right, you are not right. That is the slogan of the people today. That is the reason problems. Wherever you go, there are problems. That blame game will stop, and you start looking at yourself from inside. Oh, I am like this. I have come like this. This is my culture. This is my language. This is my society. And when you are looking at yourself, inner picture becomes clear. People also start taking you seriously. Okay, these are the toppers anyhow. This is just for your statistics purpose. Why the toppers have made it to that list? Because of the subject itself. The subject itself is like that. If you can connect with those parts. Acha, I have divided those parts, no? The beauty is we can start from any part. My lectures, I don't start from, chapter 1, 2, 3. I don't go like that. Because syllabus giving is his problem. But how to deal with is my problem. I'll deal with in such a fashion that it becomes like a cakewalk for you. That's not an exaggeration, by the way. And current affairs, and understand ourselves better and this current society better. This is example I wanted to showcase to you. What is this board saying? No entry. Inka kinda chudandi. From AM to PM. ऑटोनमस डिस्ट्रिक्ट काउंसिल चूरा चांदपुर, आप लोगों ने सुना है? चूरा चांदपुर कहाँ सुना है? रीसेंट न्यूज, Recent current affairs. In which state it is there? Acha, I might show something else, then you'll understand. What is the state? The name is not given. Manipur, exactly. Manipur, abutting Myanmar here, Nagaland there, Assam this side. The topic I'm speaking about is Manipur. You know, Manipur is in news in recent times. Do we have any connection with Manipur? Not for GS purpose, for optional purpose. You say yes or no? In what way? Next question. Which kind of people live here? Tribal people live. Wonderful. You see the picture, topography, can you make out? In that, all this surface, it's called relief in geography, relief. Is this relief uniform, same? No. You see in the middle, what could be this? These are the valley areas or the plains areas. These are the hilly regions. Hilly regions. This side, Imphal is there. There are valley regions and hilly regions. So what is anthropology in the, is this a geography class? We are trying to appreciate the tribal life from a geographical angle. Where do you tribal people live usually? On the plains or on the hilltops? Hilltops, mountains. These people live in mountains. Among these two communities, now you know which communities are fighting? Cookies and Métis. Which kind of people live on mountains? The Cookies. Cookies are the tribal people. Cookies-o. Métis follow Hinduism. They stay in this valley area, this valley region. The tribal people live in these green areas. Green areas matlab mountainous areas. The Kuki people, though population is less, are STs, tribals. They are given special provisions and special protection under Article 371C of our Constitution. And Métis are demanding scheduled tribe status because they argue that before 1949 in Manipur we were considered as tribes. Unfortunately, after 1949 we are not considered as tribes. They are given different backward statuses, of course, BC, OBCs, SCs, but they want ST status because recently there was some court recommendation. You go look into their problems. And suddenly, because of this, new clashes have come. Now, again we raise this question, what is anthropology doing here? I gave you an example earlier. What is anthropology predominantly? What does anthropology predominantly studies? I give you choice again. Tribes or mainstream people? What is the major focus area for anthropology? Is it like tribal people or simple people or complex society people? Simple society, tribal people. Because I told you, Europeans first when they came, all our people were, most of our forefathers and other people in Asia, Africa, Australia and America were tribal people. Simple societies. Anthropology specializes in tribal affairs. So, we try to appreciate what is the job they do, what is the kind of activity these people do. Now I'll give another question again to you. Okay, don't take me wrong, this is my way of teaching style, two-way interaction. I will not allow you to relax in the class, no chance. In hills, which kind of occupation you practice? Regular agriculture or shifting cultivation? Right, shifting cultivation. In the plains, regular agriculture. In the hills, what kind of religion you can expect? Religion which is tribal religion or Hinduism? Tribal religion is based on spirits. They worship spirits, they worship nature, they worship trees, they worship animals. And their lifestyle is completely different from the mainstream people. Their customs, their language, their family. Just now I have given that polyandry business. Koi bhi topic le lo, they are different. And they are less literate people, except the Northeast people where the Christianity has entered in the right from the 17th century itself. 18th century itself, they have started providing health care and education to them. So many of them have adopted Christianity. In spite of that fact, still the people are tribal in nature, because their original tribal thing will not go away just because they have adopted some foreign religion. So ST status is okay for them, but these people are also demanding. This is one thing. And what is a major problem? These mighty people are complaining. One second. Under Article 371, there is completely ban on the mighty people or any plains people to go and buy land or settle in forest areas. Hill areas, you and I can't settle down, you can't buy the land. But whereas the tribal people can come and buy here, number one. Number two, because they are in the border with Myanmar, these people are regularly having these connections with the people called Chin community. Chin ante mana chin gaadu, Chin, that cookie Chin. Cookie ke baad Chin bhi aata hai, right? You have seen that. Cookie Chin people. There is also a language called cookie Chin. Chin people who are there in Myanmar, they have this relationship with them because cultures have got no boundaries. I have my cousins in US, right? I have my cousins in Bangalore. I have my cousins everywhere in the world. So across the borders, I have my relatives. Okay, ye bhi problem theek hai. Acha, what is the thing that is making matters worse? If we cross Myanmar, there is a big area called, very dangerous area. There is something called as some triangle, which is known for drugs. Very opium trade, ganja, ये सब होता है. Myanmar, Laos, Cambodia, dangerous area for smugglers, arms trafficking, all this happens. Human trafficking, arms. These people send arms here. They can come there. These people have got into arms. The cookie people got arms. Then violence started. They started blocking the highways and started killing both ways. See, the problem cannot be identified as only these people have started, these people were to blame. It is called as ethnic conflict. Ethnicity is a chapter in our syllabus. Chapter 7 in paper 2. Chapter 8, who is a tribe. Chapter 9, ethnicity. Ethnic and political movements. How anthropology understands this? So we have this anthropological knowledge about their relationship. And what is the other name of relationship? Kinship. In anthropology, we call relationship as kinship, and it is there in your syllabus 2.5 paper 1. So we give a lot of importance to these relationships. So we try to appreciate the things firsthand like no other specialist understands. Only anthropologists understand the problems in their original sense, deeper sense, wider sense. They go deep into that, wide into that, so they can give lasting solutions. So this is how you get better knowledge about current affairs when you apply anthropological knowledge than others. So we have to cover geography, we have to cover the violence, ethnicity, everything, constitutional provisions. There are many dimensions to this problem. Now, what is the weightage of anthropology? Can anthropology help you score well in essay and ethics or GS also? The answer is yes. A resounding yes. Because in GS1, there is an area called Indian society. And what does anthropology study? Whenever I start my class, I have this habit of drawing triangles. I'm a very big fan of these triangles and pyramids. And in this triangle, I have invented a new triangle recently. That triangle name is BSC. Can you guess what is that BSC? And how many angles of humans we study? Now I have given you a clue. Anthropology studies many dimensions about humans. Biological, social, cultural, brilliant, that's it. And you see how easily you can learn the subject. Biology informs society, society informs culture, culture influences biology, biology influences culture. Yes, everything like is in relation to the other. And Indian society, you see, we are studying society. We know Indian society like as I told you, the back of our hands. Thanks to the appreciation of the Indian, first of all, what kind of people lived in India, what kind of facial features we have, what kind of ethnic features we have, which race we belong to. Do we belong to Aryans? Do we belong to Dravidians? Are we Mongoloids? Are we Negro fellows? We people, are we Negroes? Are we Caucasoids? So there are so many questions that also is dealt in anthropology. We go to our roots, where we have come from, Africa, Asia. So we raise so many questions and try to answer them. We go into the languages, which kind of languages are spoken in which parts of India. If you see the North India, there is a group called, language family called Indo-Aryan. If you come to South India, it is Dravidian. If you go to tribal India, it is called as Austro-Asiatic group. There are so many language groups. Like that, we know the first hand, the demographic features, social issues. I'll show you some questions you will understand. Governance issues, constitutional provisions, issues relating to the development and management of social sector services, and issues relating to poverty and hunger. Because in chapter 6, paper 2, we have a topic called tribal problems. Then we'll see all this malnutrition, hunger. Yes, sir. See, now you kindly examine with some focus. What are these questions? I need you to understand and tell me which part they belong to. Okay? Which paper in mains? Paper 1, paper 2 and Japan. Just scan them top to bottom. These questions have come in year 2020 mains GS. Has caste lost its significant relevance in the understanding the multicultural Indian society? This is a relevance of caste. Shall we keep caste aside and start appreciating? That is a question. Very simple. When you know the caste system of India, in chapter 3 we have a topic called caste system, its characteristics, theories of origin, future of the caste system. Also we do have a topic called future of the caste system. Then in that we'll be talking about this areas, relevance of the caste system. COVID-19 pandemic accelerated class inequalities. There is a topic called social stratification in chapter 2 paper 1. Chapter 2 paper 1, social stratification, social society, stratification, strata, layers. What are the different layers in a society? Upper class, middle class, lower class, labor class. If you apply class, you have these distinctions, right? Class. We have to examine this. From the angle of anthropology, you can write a better answer than a non-anthropology student. That is my point to make here. Okay? Do you agree that regionalism in India appears to be consequence of cultural assertiveness? Regionalism is there in 9.3 paper 2. There is a topic, regionalism. We can directly write a better answer. Diversity and pluralism in India under the threat due to globalization. You can appreciate all that when you study entire syllabus. Customs and traditions suppress reason leading to obscurantism. Do you agree? All these questions you can write wonderfully with the knowledge of anthropology. That is paper 1. That is GS1. This is GS2. That is polity. Ye sab hai na idhar. This is paper 2 GS. Again 2020. I'll be leaving you in 5-10 minutes, don't worry. We are about to close this. In order to enhance the prospects of social development, sound and adequate healthcare policies are needed, particularly in the fields of geriatric and maternal health care. Both these topics we will be studying in physical anthropology. Actually, it's about physical anthropology. Geriatric, we talk about in chapter 10, growth and development. And there is a topic called aging and senescence. We talk about the elderly. Maternal health care, there is a chapter called 11. Chapter 11, paper 1, called menarche, menopause, fertility, fecundity. In that we will understand the women's problem. There is a topic called nutritional anthropology, again in paper 1, chapter 12. Everywhere there is anthropology. Same thing, strength sustenance of local institutions. It's about again local institutions. So we have a topic called the impact of the modern democratic institutions in paper 1, chapter 5. Paper 2, chapter 5, Indian anthropology. There is a topic called village studies, village India. In that, how have the villages changed after the what you call implementation of the Panchayat Raj system, that is 73rd Amendment Act. Same thing has been also asked discussed in Tribal India, chapter 7, paper 2, chapter 7. In Tribal India also, how tribal societies have, whether they have welcomed the democratic institutions or not. So all these three words, functions, functionaries, funds, are common in your polity also, in your anthropology also. Latest thing they have asked is functionality. With all this, are they really functioning? Are they becoming defunct? Is the district administration dominating? All these questions we raise. So like that, we appreciate a lot about GS in mains. Can you identify what is this? Can you identify which part of the exam it is? Just गौर से देखो एक मिनट, आराम से देखना. And this is also from 2020, the year 2020. Somebody has said essay paper. This looks like an anthropology paper, yaar. You see, it's life is a long journey between human being and being human. Long journey. Did I mention this word long journey in this class today? We have traveled a lot. What was that journey like? How much time it has taken? 40 lakh years ago. We became from apes to humans. We become humans. But from humans, are we showing this humane thing? Humane means being human. What kind of a humanity we are showing? Understanding. What kind of understanding we have about others? Whether we can appreciate others' pains. Or we are also behaving like animals. Do animals feel bad after they attack you? But do we feel bad if we hit someone, we insult someone? Arre, mere ko aisa nahi karna chahiye tha. Right? And why people are put in jail? They are put in jail because in jail they will be thinking, arre, my God, in that fit of a rage, in that kshanika avesham, in Telugu we call kshanika avesham lo, I have committed this grave mistake, and God, please forgive me, and that family, please forgive me. So this is only humans can do, not animals. Similarly, culture is what we are. Civilization is what we have. We have a topic in paper 1, chapter 2 called culture and civilization. There is a comparison. We do that. Exactly as if some anthropologist has said this paper. Aisa lagta hai. There can be no social justice without economic prosperity, but economic prosperity without social justice is meaningless. Some of you might have seen our preamble, the Constitution of India preamble. We, the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign socialist democratic republic, and to secure to all its citizens justice, social, economic and political. Why I am talking polity topic now? Why justice? We are speaking about justice. Do you think all the communities in this country are getting justice? Do you think especially people in the lower rungs in the society, like scheduled castes, scheduled tribes, and some parts in minorities and women and OBCs, it looks like a different class, but when you actually sit in the class, you'll get that clarity. Correct? All this is appreciated through preamble, and we, while discussing chapter 7, paper 2, there is a concept called constitutional safeguards for SCs, STs, OBCs. While doing so, we'll be talking about preamble. And preamble has this concept called social justice. Okay, like that. Patriarchy is a very, many times we speak about patriarchy. There is another thing called matriarchy. In anthropology, we'll be talking about matriarchal societies. For example, there is a society called Khasi in Meghalaya, Khasi Hills, Jaintia Hills. There is a community called Khasi. There they follow matriarchy even today. Many societies in Kerala also do that. And our approach, this is only advertisement, huh? Just you can see that if you have to believe, you have to believe 100% with faith, and definitely you will go in a extraordinary journey. That is a guarantee. Why? Because this is everything I'll highlight later. This is one I want to actually, highlight. Have you seen this word transformative pedagogy? Pedagogy means style of teaching. Teaching. Peda means children. Gogi means teaching children. So you're all children for us, right? So naturally, pupils, bacha, ये सब बोलते हैं, दिल्ली में बोलते हैं बच्चा बच्चा. When we teach informatively, what is the chance of you getting transformed? Number one, if there is a transformative teaching, if the class is transformative, what do you mean by transformative? You don't know where to go. You have all come with hopes and aspirations to this, right? Coaching. And all of are you're sitting in like, very insecure position, not so clear. You think after coaching I'll become better. You think after writing test series I become better. Some people think after giving one attempt I'll become better. Correct? Right or wrong? But when is transformation happening? The transformation, real transformation happens when something hits from inside. Tak बोल के एक अंदर से एक वाणी आते, शरीरा वाणी, अशरीरा वाणी, आकाशा वाणी. It is actually that. You get that kind of a spark somewhere in your life during the journey. That might take time also. But true teacher, if there is a true teacher, after listening to his or her classes, if you get the transformation, wow, what a great prospect it is. And I can guarantee that. Transformation happens from inside. Acha, I will not be giving claim on any results, neither I will not speak about any past students. I will never speak about that, because my job is to only teach and transform you guys. And whether you're connecting, today you might connect, tomorrow you might connect, that other person might be talking about some other note, some other thing, that's okay, fine. Some other comparison, it is very natural, you compare, that is also okay. But to come to a best judgment in your life, you have to give time. The way anthropologists give time to the other society, you have to give time to yourselves, my dear friends. Only after spending for 10-15 days, unless you spend 10-15 days time right from the scratch, and unless you approach the teacher for doubts, claiming you cannot even blame the teacher. That is another thing I can say. You may join me, I may not join me, I don't have any problem. You may not join anywhere also, no problem. But you cannot blame a teacher unless you have asked the teacher your doubts, and even after you don't get the doubt clarified, then it's a different game, right? So one cannot, come to some judgments just like giving, seeing from only one angle. Just now I've told you, when you see the person from different angles, when you give the time, some time for that person, only you are in a better position to appreciate. So give time to your teacher, give time to yourself. And this is not any one day T20 match. UPSC is not a T20 match, my dear friends. Let me clarify things in the very beginning. UPSC is about dash. What is this match like? आजकल इंडिया इंग्लैंड के बीच में हो रहा है, टेस्ट मैच. In the test match, why it is called a test match? It tests your grit, your determination, your technique, your skill, your patience, your fitness. Your focus. This exam tests all these qualities, and you don't give time for yourself and start blaming others. After some time, you will be blaming. Who will you blame? If you are in a hurry, don't take up UPSC. మీరు ఎవరు చెప్పరు నాలాగా. నోబడి విల్ సే యూ कंपेयर, यू डोंट कम. ఎవరు చెప్పరు ఇది. ప్లీజ్ జాయిన్ ही बोलते हैं सब लोग. मैं ऐसा नहीं बोलूँगा. I don't have any problem. But if you feel there is a spark here, there is a spark I'm having, if that spark can be made into a flame, oh, I can see the prospect, then the red carpet is there for you. And tomorrow the world will give you red carpets. Okay, that is the meaning of transformative pedagogy. Your life skills will be given to you free of cost, without additional rupee charged. You are given that motivation, that support you need in the all walks of your preparation. Kitna badhiya hai na program? Oh my goodness, nowhere available. This all you have already read, I guess. Thank you, by the way, and all the best. Any doubts you can kindly ask me right now. Any queries, I'll be happy to help. Any regular, silly, laughable doubts also you ask. Others will laugh. They'll be thanking you. Don't feel bad in asking a question. Basic NCERT is where they talk about Indian society. Indian society karke topics hain, right? Like your 7th class onwards. Any NCERT is okay as long as they are talking about your society, your caste system. And there is a beautiful SCRT source for anthropology. SCRT. Good question you've asked. There is a State Council of Education and Research and Training of Kerala. Kerala state, they have got class 11 and class 12 books which have the very basics of the subjects. And I'm telling you in advance, some of the points I will be dealing with the class will be also from here. So don't come to a conclusion that I am teaching from that Kerala. అట్లాంటి ప్రభుత్వాలు ఉన్నారు. అంటే నేను ఇక ఓన్లీ క్లాస్ 12 చెప్పి మీకు చెప్తున్నా అంటే that how can that person imagine? You can understand. You can imagine. And every day I update my knowledge. Every month or so I'll be subscribing to magazines. Recently only I got one book from USA, and I think couple of books. One book is I reached me after 3 months. These are not available in India. Though Amazon is a service provider, this is not available in India. I get books regularly from India also, outside also. I subscribe to many magazines. I am very adept in newspaper. Without newspaper reading, my day doesn't start. Okay, and as I told you, I worked as an editor in a magazine, though I have not given the designation. I worked as an editor in a magazine. I am very good in writing skills. I'll not say excellent, that is for you to give. Very good in writing part, not only speaking but also writing. So in writing also you can go very safely with on my shoulders. Okay, so this is one thing. And what else? This is a basic thing you can start with. Else, any other questions? Regular question adagatlede. Notes already I think I have told. Notes will be definitely given. Notes will be of many types. The content provided in the slides, class slides or PPTs will be number 1. Okay, this is the first source. Second, you'll be given dictated notes, dictations as and when I feel. Not every topic, you cannot expect every topic. Some topics which may not be given as a dictation will be given in the handout form. And some of the handouts will also contain question and answer format. That is, a model answer will be given to you. Not every question cannot be given as a model answer. You cannot know, you cannot even relate to that unless concept is given. So notes will also be given from time to time, provided to you in various levels. And यही है अपना. और Anything else you want to ask? If you don't have any questions, I'm sitting anyhow there. If you want to meet me personally, I'm always there for you. And Chaliye, then we'll end this orientation session, and you can even treat it as a strategic, part strategy session. And thank you very much for this opportunity, and all the best to you. God bless you.